Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video on the channel. In this one we'll just be going into more depth about the Liverpool-Tottenham game yesterday. I didn't expect it to go to 9 goals, but it wasn't out of possibility. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer. I thought it was going to end like 3-1, 2-1, something like that. Because Tottenham last year gave us a run for our money, but this year we just decided to literally swing it on the table and see how many goals come from it. And we managed to get 6 goals, 3 of them in the first half. I mean, what is there to say, you know? I mean, it's one of our best performances so far this season. We had a few rocky two rocky games where we had 2 draws. Fulham, if we had 11 men on the pitch, I reckon we win that game. And the game before was just, I guess, unlucky against Newcastle to get a draw out of that. We should have won it, but that one mistake sort of took those 3 points away. But it wasn't a bad draw. But let's go back to the Tottenham-Liverpool game. So the 6 goals that we scored, all of them really well worked. It did have the possibility of being a high-scoring game because of that line that Tottenham play, when they put all their players at the halfway line. If Alisson kicks it long, like everybody knows he can, it's just going to go straight over, and Salah's through, Szoboszlai's through, who I thought played the best game of the season for him so far. He won. I didn't see him lose a header. He won every single header, assisted one, scored one, could have scored another one, probably could have assisted another 2 or something. It was absolutely impeccable from Szoboszlai. Much more like what we're needing that key role to be. Salah, again, world class. 2 assists, 2 goals. He's now broken loads of new records that I'm not going to list. But he's broken a few records. He's up there. He's above Haaland in the Golden Boot as a winger. I mean, Haaland is having a stinky season with Man City, but he's probably one of the only people on that City team holding City together at the minute, because that crisis is just unrivaled with anything we've ever seen before, and no sympathy for them at all. The 115 charges, all of that. Guardiola thinking he's cocky as hell, even though he's managed 3 of the best teams. He's managed Bayern when they were pretty good. You know, they only had Robben, Rivalry, and all these players. He managed Barcelona when they were pretty decent as well, when they had Messi, Busquets, Iniesta, Xavi, you name it, they had it. David Villa, underrated baller. And then he goes to Man City, who had the best team and probably still have. I mean, they've still got really good players. The players are getting on a bit. I don't know what's going to happen in January or at the end of the season for Man City. I mean, Man United, we don't really need to talk about. They were always going to be in a rocky state with a new manager, but 3-0 to Bournemouth, I'm not even going to lie, it was an expected result that I thought United would get, because Bournemouth are a good side. They took points off Arsenal. They took points of a lot of good teams this season. So people that, I'm going to say something for United fans, people that are saying that are just dragging out this loss, it's usually City fans. They need to realise that they also lost to Bournemouth, and their downfall is genuinely insane. But let me just swap arms with my phone. My arm's getting tired. But that sort of I mean, it is a rivalry, obviously. City don't want United to do well. United don't want City to do well. We don't want United or City to do well. So it works for us, but it's a lot closer than what you think between United and City. United have had the rockier road, I guess, but City are having the worst patch that they've had, that we've even seen in the Prem in years. I mean, I think the last time we saw someone lose this many games was like 1970-something. I saw it somewhere online, but let's just quickly sort of go through the match ratings for the Liverpool game. Gone a bit down a rabbit hole and started talking about the other games, but they are important games, especially the Chelsea-Everton draw. That was huge. Arsenal wiped the floor with Palace, which I thought was going to be closer considering the Carabao Cup game, but Arsenal were not playing their full-strength team. When they do play the full-strength team, they just sort of wipe the floor with them. Gabriel Jesus is now probably Arsenal's best on-form player in terms of striker. They need to start playing him striker instead of Havertz. And then Saka, I think, got injured. Saw him walking off with crutches at the end of the game. So that could put a definite dent in Arsenal's title race this season if he's out for a long period of time. But quick match ratings will be Alisson, I would give a 6. I feel like he played well. He made a great save to deny them their 4th goal. But what I will say is if a goalkeeper concedes 3 goals, no matter in which sort of sense he concedes them, for me, I don't think he can get above a 6, because, you know, you conceded 3 goals. Yes, they may have all been deflections, they may have all been stunners, but if you concede 3, for me, I don't think you can get above a 6. That's just me, but feel free to leave your comments down below on what your thoughts are on that. Centre-back, Van Dijk, casual game for him. He gets 7. Gomez played really well. I give Gomez an 8. He was incredibly good. I mean, Van Dijk was incredibly good as well, but we've seen VVD do it before. Gomez is probably our second... No, I'll say Kanate is our second best centre-back. But Gomez is right up there in terms of a player that can just sort of be brought in, drop in, do a job, bang. So very happy with how Gomez played. He had some really good tackles. Trent, one of Trent's best games this season. Insane cross for that first goal. Trent, I'd give an 8. And then left back Robertson, much better game from Robertson. Do we need to strengthen that left back position? I do think we do, just as a backup, but much better from Robertson. So I give Robertson a 7, much better from him. Centre midfield, I would go for Gravenberch, who was again a great option for us. Played incredibly in both halves, so I give him a 7. Szoboszlai, arguably man of the match, I give him a 9. Our other centre mid at one point was Curtis Jones. He would get a 6. Came on quite late, so he can't really impact the game too much. McAllister, I'd give an 8. Got his goal. Please tell me how Alexis McAllister heads that ball past like 6'6" Fraser Foster. Not a clue. But ain't going to argue with it. He's a great option for us at centre mid, and I'm very happy that we did that deal with Brighton and got him. And then moving into the front three, this is for most of the game, so I guess it would be Gakpo, Diaz, Salah. So Salah would obviously get a 9, 2 goals, 2 assists. Can't argue with that. Actually, I'd give Salah a 10. I feel like giving everyone 9s is a bit unfair. I'd give Salah a 10. Can't argue with that performance at all. Striker Diaz, I very much like the striker setup we've got going with Diaz, so I'd give Diaz an 8, I'd give Diaz a 9. For 2 goals, he gets a 9. Gakpo tried to do something, but unfortunately couldn't, so I'd give Gakpo a 7. I don't think he played bad, but he didn't get his goals or his assists, so he can't get higher than a 7 really. And then people that came on from the bench, Nunes came on quite late, he'd get a 6. Harvey Elliott came on late, he'd get a 6. Slot, I'm going to start giving ratings for, so Slot would get a 9. I felt like the way that we played was just so entertaining to watch that I feel like to give him anything less than a 9 would just be unacceptable. But feel free to leave your comments down below on what you thought of the game. Merry Christmas. More importantly, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see everyone in the next one.